Well, welcome everyone to Love vs. Hate. My name is Anne, and I'm your old-fashioned nerd.
And I'm Emily, your mainstream millennial.
And on this podcast, Emily and I like to debate and argue about the things in life that we love and hate.
And sometimes we disagree, but we always try to find some common ground.
Yes, we do try. And I don't know about today, because today is going to be kind of an Emily-featured episode.
I'm taking over.
She's taking over, and I don't really know. I don't really know what we're talking about. So, Emily, what are we talking about?
Yes. So, in an effort to just bring you into more of the pop culture side.
Thank you.
I'm sticking with music because I love music so much. And today I'm going to be telling you about one of the most popular girl groups in the UK. And no, it's not the Spice Girls.
Oh, okay. I would be interested about the Spice Girls. I'd be interested, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
They
I
were a
like
revolution.
them. I really only know a couple of their songs. Great job, Spice Girls, for just doing what you did. But we're not talking about them today. We're talking about Little Mix.
Yeah, you've told me about them. I don't know much, only that there was one girl who has left and people were really mean to her. They like body shamed her.
Yes, we will talk more about that. But yeah, we are talking about Little Mix. And as I said, they're a girl group from the UK. They actually formed on X Factor like One Direction did.
Okay, this is like a popular way for bands to form, apparently.
Yeah, so they formed in the fall of 2011. And they originally were 4 members, like Anne mentioned. There was a falling out with one of them. But the original 4 members are Jade, Jessie, Leanne, and Perry. And as I said, they got their start in the X Factor. They all auditioned separately, just like One Direction.
This feels like deja vu, but this is the women's side.
Yeah. So they all wanted to become solo artists, but obviously that didn't happen. They actually, and this is the part that I didn't know, and I found out when I was like researching more about them. So they were actually put into 2 separate groups originally. So 2 of them, Jessie and Perry, were in a different 4-member group called Faux Pas on the X Factor.
Faux Pas?
Yeah. And then Leanne and Jade were in a...
Wait, who's Leanne?
She's one of the 4 members.
Did you name her?
Yes.
Okay. I don't remember Leanne.
Jade, Jessie, Leanne, and Perry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So Leanne and Jade were in a 3-member group called... I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Orion or Orion? I don't know how to
Probably
pronounce.
Orion.
I don't know. That's what I figured, but I was like, I couldn't find a pronunciation anywhere.
And you were like, and it's an O, not an A, so how is it Orion? This is not grammatically correct.
I'm like, I think that has something to do with space. I don't know. Does
yes,
Anne
it's a
know?
constellation, and it's Orion.
That's what I figured, and that's why I was like, I think it's Orion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they were both in separate groups first on the X Factor, but both of the groups failed, obviously.
Tears.
No faux
Multiple
pas,
tears.
no Orion. But the judges were like, you know what? We're not quite over with those 4 girls. So let's take them out of those failed groups and put them in another different group. And they called it Rhythmix.
So not Little Mix. Okay, where did Little Mix come from?
That is a great question, Anne. Thank you for the segue.
I try.
They were called Rhythmix, but then there was another group called Rhythmix, but the other Rhythmix is actually a charity group, and the charity group is like, yo, that's our name.
Yeah, no, this is a no-go.
And so after that, they changed it to Little Mix.
Which sounds kind of similar.
Yeah.
But was that a pretty quick transition?
Yeah,
right
so this
after?
was all still when they were on the X Factor.
Oh.
After their first live show performance, that's when the charity group Rhythmix found out about their name and was
okay.
like,
So,
hey,
so they only did
what
one.
about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to take you to court.
Yeah, so they quickly changed their name to
Okay.
Little Mix, what they are today. So Little Mix continued competing in the X Factor, and they went on to win. We love. So they won their season, and it was the first time that a group had ever won in UK X Factor.
Oh, so this is pre...
Actually, One Direction did not win. They got
What?
3rd place.
What?
Yeah.
That is crazy to me. Because you know what other group I know of that won the X Factor?
What?
Little Mix, because you just told me. I literally have never heard of any other winner. I would have said One Direction, 30 seconds ago, but now I know.
Yeah,
they didn't even win.
I'm pretty sure they were third place. Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous.
Fun facts, the more you know. Okay, so before we go any further with Little Mix's history, I'm going to tell you where they're at today, which sadly is no longer. So, like the saying goes, all good things must come to an end, and so has Little Mix. Or at least, they say they're on a hiatus, but we all know what that means in the music industry.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're still posting on their Instagram being like Little Mix forever and all this stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see. But
I do not. Well, they had like kids and
yeah. So Jessie Nelson left the band in December of 2020 because of her mental health struggles, as Anne mentioned earlier. But Jade, Leanne, and Perry continued on. They released an anthology album with 5 new tracks in November of 2021. And then in the spring of 2021, both Leanne and Perry announced that they were pregnant, and then they had their babies. Leanne had twins, which she's super secretive about, and we don't know what their names are, which I respect that.
Yeah.
And then Perry had a baby boy named Axel. And then Little Mix announced they would be taking a hiatus after their Confetti tour, which was put on pause because of the pandemic. So they had their final show in May of 2022. And that's the last.
Did you cry?
Well,
she's like, no, because I had BTS.
Yes. No, I didn't have BTS. Well, I guess I did have BTS. So yeah, I didn't cry at the end of their tour. I was sad, but I did cry when I heard their song called Between Us, because it was really sad. You should all go listen to it.
Yeah,
you're probably not going to cry because you don't know. If you don't know them,
yeah.
You probably won't. But
I probably won't.
It's sad. Okay, so back to their history. Just as an overview, they have 7 studio albums, including their anthology album, which I don't know, is that counted as an album?
Yeah, it's still...
It's like a ton of their old music, but it's put into a different album. Anyway, I'm counting it. And then they headlined 6 tours. And as far as awards, their most notable are that they've won 6 MTV Europe Music Awards, 1 iHeartRadio Music Award, 6 Global Music Awards, and 3 Brit Awards. And their Brits are for Best British Single for Shout Out to My Ex, which is one of their most popular songs, Best British Group, which was a fan-voted award. And then in 2021, which is the best award they could have ever won, they got the Best British Group, which was record-breaking because they were the first girl group to ever win. And this was after all the drama with Jessie leaving. Aww. And so they were like, we did it!
Aww.
It was so amazing. I was so happy for them.
So have they been nominated for Grammys or
no?
Mostly just in Britain.
Yeah, so I think that... I don't know. I don't really know how I got... Oh, I think I got into them because of One Direction. I kind of got into the UK music scene a little bit. But I feel like they're pretty well-known worldwide, but they're not great. I feel like girl groups in general just...
It's a little bit of a struggle to get big, globally popular. You can... I'd heard of them, and if you sung one of their songs, I'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard that song before. Mm-hmm. But I don't necessarily... know them. Yeah,
so they weren't nominated for any Grammys or anything like that, but Brits are kind of the big thing over in UK.
Yeah.
One thing that helps me become obsessed with an artist or a musician group in general is when they show their personality and they're not just a musician. I really want to get to know my people that I listen to, as we saw in the last episode. I love personalities. And I feel like they do that really well. They're always really silly, and they're not taking themselves too seriously. They're also really pretty, but also they have great personalities. And they have an album called Get Weird, which I think just speaks for itself. They're not afraid to be weird, okay? And
yeah, never be afraid to be weird. Weird is cool.
Yeah. So I think that helped me kind of embrace who I was in high school. I was like, I don't care what people think of me.
I can
Actually,
be weird.
maybe I did. I don't know. I was gonna say, but I'd like to think that I didn't care.
That's how I remember myself. So we're just gonna move forward with that. It doesn't matter what I was actually like.
Yeah, and I feel like like I said, like in the music industry, it can be harder for females and female groups to become popular and stay popular, and a lot of them are like, I don't know. You just don't see a lot of like female artists being like weird and like, I don't know. It's like all I know cookie cutter, you know?
Or well, and like you said, I think there's something to be said for there's a lot of famous female artists that do really well solo. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's not really like the Spice Girls was one of the big ones to kind of break out globally and, you know, that people can remember. And certainly there were ones before them. But yeah, they're just they don't usually do as well, which is kind of interesting. I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder that too. Like why is it so easy for girls to be obsessed with like boy bands and stuff? But like girl bands, they just don't get that same kind of love.
Yeah, well, boys don't obsess over it the way that girls do over boy bands.
I really want to know why that is.
Yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's just a whole nother topic.
Yeah, we could. But I'd have to think about that one and research it maybe a little bit. There's got to be some kind of.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that in a One Direction movie, they like hired a psychologist to like explain why the girl, like a female's brain does the things that it does when they're like obsessed with a boy band or something. Why they become
maniacs. Yeah, like mania is a thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember why. Classic
Emily.
So now we're going to kind of go into a little bit of the not trouble, but like more of the heavier hitting things that Little Mix has had to go through. And that's mainly with Jessie. So she left the band in 2020 for mental health, as I said. And she's spoken out and actually created a whole documentary on like her struggles that she's had to face. And it's called Odd One Out on BBC if anybody is interested. But all the girls in Little Mix are absolutely talented and stunning, but Jessie faced a lot more negativity and cyberbullying on her looks than the other three, which of course affected her. And so she always just like, obviously, the title of her documentary, she felt like the odd one out. She felt like she wasn't pretty enough to be in the group and all this stuff, and she wasn't as talented. And so that led her to leave Little Mix. You could tell how much the other girls really cared for her and wanted her to feel like loved and fit in, because whenever like she wouldn't get a lot of attention in interviews, or if she said something that like was self-deprecating, the girls would like try and lift her up and be like, "We love you, Jessie," and like all this stuff. And they were so cute. And same with Perry. So Perry, she used to date Zayn Malik, which if you didn't know, he's a member of One Direction. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They had a very public breakup, obviously. Two huge stars in the public eye.
Both in groups. And,
yeah. So once they broke up, there would be times when she would start like crying during a performance because like the song would trigger her emotions, obviously. Aww. And they would all comfort her and it would be so cute. But luckily from the breakup, they got the amazing song, one of their most popular, Shout Out to My Ex, which we already know won a Brit. So thank you, Zayn, for that.
For being the inspiration.
Yeah. Love you, Zayn. Actually, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about you right now.
Oh, drama.
There's a lot of drama going on with One Direction, too. But that's a whole nother thing again.
Well, can we talk about it for 2 minutes? Because I have to know at least just give me the like basics.
Okay, so Liam is one of the One Direction members.
Yep.
I don't know. I try not to like go deep into it because I have a whole nother set of boy bands to be obsessed with. But Liam said in an interview something about Zayn and about how like he's troubled because of his past or his upbringing and stuff.
Oh.
And Liam thinks that he's like really cool when he's probably the least successful one now.
Yeah. So he has to kind of quote unquote bash on the other guys in order to like make himself more popular. That's really sad. Liam.
But, and then I don't know, I don't know if Zayn said anything back. I don't know. Zayn has gone through some things. So he was dating a model, Gigi Hadid, and there's been things that he like abused her or Gigi's mom. I don't know. There's stuff that has been said.
Okay, so there's like a gossip mill just all kind of going around. We don't know what's true.
I don't know. I personally don't know that much, so I don't want to go into it much more because I don't want to like spread false information.
Okay, that's fair. But either way, One Direction's just...
Yeah, I mean, Harry's living his best life. His album just came out. He's on tour. He's so successful. Everyone loves Harry, but everyone else, not everyone else, Liam and Zayn are going through it right now.
Okay, fair.
Back to Little Mix. So unfortunately, Jesse's exit from Little Mix wasn't a good one.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a lot of negativity coming from both ends, Jessie and the rest of the girls in Little Mix. Part of it was because she said that she was leaving for mental health reasons, and then she continued to start her own solo music, which is like, if you're trying to get away from the public eye, going and doing your own solo music is not the way to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, her first and so far only released song is called Boys, and it features Nicki Minaj, which Little Mix has also worked a lot with. So it's kind of like another like, oh, really? You're going to take Nicki Minaj with you too?
Yeah.
That was kind of like a little punch in the gut for them. And then Little Mix, as a group of 3 now, also came back with a song in their anthology album called Cut You Off. And this is just a little section of the song to just give you a little insight on what it could be about. Don't think I believe ya. Is the grass out there really greener? Are you happy now? I know you think you're all that. It'll be so sweet when you crawl back, but it's too late now.
Yeah, wonder what that could be about. You know, I mean, that's definitely something that could be applied across multiple people's lives, across multiple parts of their life.
I mean, it could be about a boy. I don't know.
You never know. Yeah, it's very relatable is what that is.
Yeah. But let's go back to the happier things, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, another reason that I love them is because of the messaging in their music. Yes, they have their love songs like every single band out there, but they also have a lot of women empowerment messages. I'll give you a few examples of all the different messaging because I just love to promote them. So some of their women empowerment messages songs are No, Woman's World, Joan of Arc, and Salute. And then they also have songs about like being able to change your own life, like Little Me and Change Your Life. Wow.
Whoa, wait, what? Whoa. Did not see that one coming. That felt like it came out of the blue.
Yes. And then they also have like, I know you'll like this one, Anne, because you like BTS, and their songs that are like for their fans and like talking about their bandmates. So they have those too, like Always Be Together and Between Us. And then they also have songs that just feel like they're talking to you like as a best friend. Aww. Like you feel like you're just getting like a pep talk from your friend.
Oh, that's nice.
And those are songs like Boy, My Love Won't Let You Down, and Told You So. So I just love their music. They're so talented. And then another reason I like them is because even though they're a pop group, you can tell that they like to experiment with like different sounds and genres. And their first album is probably the best example because they were still trying to figure out like kind of what their sound is.
Yeah.
They're probably the first group that I actually became a fan of. They're super talented. Their voices are amazing. Perry, I wish I had her voice because it's like she has a belting voice and she can riff and it's just amazing.
Can she whistle though? Because you can whistle.
I can only whistle sometimes.
Well, it's a start.
Her range I don't think goes that high. Okay. But Jade and Leanne's are really higher, and they're more like your classic pop vocal. But Leanne can also rap, so Whoa. That's fun. And then Jessie's has like a lot of vibrato, and it's like really unique. But she's not in the band anymore, so bye. Just kidding.
How do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I feel conflicted because like I love Little Mix, and she was in it for so long. Like she was only not there for the last year,
right,
or year and a half.
And if they formed in 2011, that's like 9 years.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just messy now that I'm like, I feel a little bit salty. And also I'm pretty sure that her music video got like more views than any Little Mix video has ever gotten in like the first 24 hours. So I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
But what can you do? I mean, I just want to be supportive. Girls support girls, you know. That's my motto. I don't know if that's my motto. Yeah, it's my motto. It's my life lesson, everyone.
Girls support girls. Women support women.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
So.
But I also get the sort of, just, whenever it's messy like that and it's not a good breakup, that's when it's just a lot harder.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a mutual decision from everyone, that's what makes it a little more difficult. So I get it.
But yeah, it's also hard because I know that she went through a lot and she's just trying to like live her best life now. So I just want to support her in being happy and being here on this earth.
And yeah, sometimes it's hard because from your perspective, you look at it, and from your perspective, you might say, well, her leaving the band made it maybe harder for her or something, you know, like, but you only have one tiny little perspective. It's her life.
Yeah.
And even if it ends up in the long term, you know, say 50 years from now, she looks back at her life and she regrets that decision. It's still her decision to make in that moment.
Yeah.
And whether it was right or wrong doesn't even matter. Like, that was her choice, and it was what she felt at the time was best for her. And that's how life works.
So be it.
Yep.
And another thing, I haven't actually seen this, but they did have a show on BBC called Little Mix The Search, and it was kind of like a talent show where they would have groups come in and they would try to find new artists, and then they would create and mentor new bands, kind of like how they were formed.
Oh, interesting.
So I haven't seen it, but I think it's pretty cool that they did that. I don't know any of the groups if they actually like
got successful.
Yeah, I don't know.
Were able to help them.
So yeah.
So now that Little Mix is over, so again, tears, sad day.
Sad.
Sad. Do you have a new girl group that you're crushing on or potentially interested in, or is someone you might maybe look into more? Who's out there?
No.
No one there to fill the void.
I still listen to them like all the time. They're still one of my top played artists. If I ever want to listen to anything other than BTS and 17, then I'll go to Little Mix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I guess it is still pretty fresh that they've just broken up. So, yeah.
When I was in high school and college, though, I did listen to a lot of Fifth Harmony, which is an American girl group that was also formed on the X Factor. Similarly to Little Mix, they all went in as solo artists, and they were put together into a group. So I listened to them a lot, but then after their first or second album, I was like, I don't really like them. Back to Little Mix.
Okay.
So, but other than that, I don't really listen to girl groups, I don't think.
See, I don't either. And so maybe that's like a sentiment a little bit to what we were speaking to earlier of how they don't get as popular. Like, I just, for some reason.
Well, I think one thing is like a lot of girl groups and stuff, they like to try and become popular, they have to create really catchy and poppy songs, and a lot of times it's about like boys or partying, and it's just like
it's not necessarily the messaging they want to do,
but it's what is popular and what gets stuck in people's heads and plays on the radio.
Yeah.
So yeah. But Little Mix, I've never heard Little Mix on the radio. I just love their music.
Okay, yeah. Well, and if they're a UK band.
But yeah, and that's what Fifth Harmony kind of was. Like, Work From Home and Boss, like, all those songs were really popular. But I was just like, yeah, it's catchy, but...
Not my thing.
I mean, I guess Boss is women empowerment, but whatever.
Yeah, I get it.
You get my point.
I do. And I feel like it takes a long time, like... There's certain artists who make music because they love it, and whether it gets popular or not, that they don't really care. Like, they're just doing it for the art and for their own, process. Like, a lot of times they're about their life. But then there's other artists who just kind of want to become popular, and they have to almost write those sort of poppy songs. But eventually, I think you can get, because I almost compare that a little bit to Taylor Swift. At first, she might have written kind of more poppy, but like over time, her style has evolved, and now she's really writing music that's really just her own art.
Yeah, now she's at a point where it doesn't matter what she creates, people will love it.
Love it, yeah, she really is at that point.
Okay, well, I'm going to end the episode before we do our life lessons with some recommendations if you wanted to look into Little Mix some more or just wanted to look into them in the first place. My favorite album, if you're going to only check out one, I guess I would say to check out the anthology because that would make the most sense. It's all of their most popular songs. But LM5 is probably my favorite album of theirs, which is their 5th album, obviously. And it still has all 4 of the members. And then my top 5 songs, if you're only going to check out 5, are Between Us, Stereo Soldier, Secret Love Song Part 2, A Mess, in parentheses, Happy For You, and Trash is such a good bop. I love that song. Okay. And then if you're going to watch any music videos, these are my recommendations. Sweet Melody because of their dancing. Change Your Life, which is one that's like empowering you to do what you want. And it's documentary style. It's one of their earlier music videos. Confetti because you get to see their sillier side. They dress up as male versions of themselves.
Oh, you've shown me that one, yeah.
And then Shout Out to My Ex because it's a Brit winner and one of their most popular songs. So, Anne, what is your life lesson?
I think I only have one life lesson that sticks out to me majorly, and I think it can apply to anyone's life, really. If you're ever going to go onto the X Factor and you want to become a solo artist, be prepared to have to join a group.
Yes,
because that seems to happen
quite
a lot.
Frequently.
So just go in with that expectation, and then you won't be disappointed that you have to get put into a group, but then you'll get popular, and then maybe if you're lucky, like Harry Styles, you can do your solo career later.
Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't know if I know any solo artists from the X Factor. Like, I only know
the band, like the
bands
groups
who were put into a group and then went solo. Like, they all did that. I mean, I guess, I don't know. They haven't technically done that yet because only one went solo so far. But
and she's only come out with one song.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think I already said my life lesson, and I don't remember what it was. But my other life lesson.
Oh, it was girls support girls.
Oh, that kind of matches. But it's don't be a cyberbully. Stop it.
Yes, please.
Your words have meaning to other people.
And it really is very unnecessary.
Yeah. Stop it.